Alright, it's the number 76 of my accountability to myself. I appreciate everyone's attention who watches this, and I will try to mention about everything, but it's really hard because I have more and more of my diaries, journals. Right now on my table, I have four of them. One of them is to track what am I doing per day. Second of them is to track what am I doing per day in this way to see the whole result of a month. Then I have one more when I schedule my day and when I write some more things down, and new one. It's a new one. It's for conclusion. Every time when I finish doing something or when I have some things that I want to remember, that I want to repeat, in the end of the day, I'm going to write down here, and it's basically the second day of writing down some of the things I need to write down, and I'll mention what I wrote down today. So the first thing, I woke up in the morning, everything was fine. I studied for 1 hour 30 minutes. I was studying sales. Then I went to the gym and I felt that my left elbow hurts, and it wasn't really cool, but since I was training legs, I almost didn't feel it. Then I returned home and I was so sleepy. I was really sleepy, so I decided to take a nap. I took a nap, 30 minutes nap. Then I woke up, I realized I need to sleep some more. I took 30 minutes more nap, and then I got up and I was able to study for 3 hours 30 minutes more. I was studying French for 2 hours, English for 1 hour, and I was reading book for 30 minutes. And by the way, yeah, and after that, it's something that I didn't write down, but I finally was training my speech, and it's harder than I expected. I spent about 40 to 50 minutes, and I realized that to get prepared to talk about something, as we can see this watching TEDx, for example, TEDx speeches, TEDx performances. I guess in my case, it might take about a month to prepare in the same way. But anyway, I just wanna try. I will see how long it will take to actually get prepared and to be able to talk. And especially what is really important is that I don't have audience, because I've already experienced what does it mean when you feel that you are prepared, you understand everything, you keep everything in your mind, as only you're on the scene, or whatever it's called, when you perform and in front of you lots of people, you know, not hundreds, but less than 100, let's say, and you don't have anything in your mind is empty. First, because it requires more practice indeed, and if you never perform in this way, your first performances will be messed up. And the second thing is you literally must understand what are you going to talk about, because you won't have an opportunity to look for something in your mind. You have just to talk. So even in my case, when I will be feeling prepared, and then, by the way, I want to record the video, and yeah, and even in my case, I won't have any audience, so it will be way easier. All right, what I wanted to mention first, I realized my approach to study is not really good. I decided to watch one video that I got in my recommendations, and I wrote down a couple of the most important things that I found for myself. First, reading out loud. It's something that I want to implement in French, because I don't read any articles, any books in French, obviously, because my French is not really good. For example, in English, I can read a book, and today, reading a book, I highlighted only 3 words per 2 pages, which is not really a lot, which means I understand pretty much everything. Reading a book which really surprised me because I guess my English also growth, and I cannot even notice it because I just apply this language every day. And what is more important, that I consume information daily in English, and also I basically study when I need to study something. I study this in English, so I just adjusted myself to English consumption. And even though I don't really always can keep in my mind information in English, anyway, I feel that it's way easier, it works way better than it was, for example, 3 months ago when I only started studying, for example. So, reading out loud, yeah, it's something that I definitely need to implement in French, at least reading basic articles. But reading out loud, it's a boost for pronunciation, and it's a boost for vocabulary because you are reading different kind of contexts. And it's also useful for your reading, which is very important in French because linking those words, rules of how to pronounce words, it's something very important. So it's the first thing I want to implement. Second, learn words in chunks, which basically means, especially it's really related to French, I guess to Spanish also, because they have kind of also hard grammar rules. For example, in English, there's no such problem when you have word I, like was I. What can I say? Was I there? Like I was there, but in French, for example, if you have word aller, marcher, je, together it will be je vais au marché, because instead of aller we are using vais. Je vais, we cannot say je allais, we can say je vais au marché, because you need to conjugate that word, you know. And sometimes in French it's better to study like sentences like this, or in general just blocks of words to like study all the topic at once. Then shadowing, but shadowing is something that I'm applying normally, and I just wrote down to make sure I'm not gonna forget about this the next time when I will be scheduling my studies. Then rituals. What's that rituals? It basically means that, for example, when you are about to have your breakfast, you can open your vocabulary and repeat your vocabulary. Probably you only finish your breakfast, you can also open your vocabulary and repeat it. So there are some processes that happen to you daily, just daily, and you can create this habit to repeat language subconsciously, unconsciously, when you open your phone, for example. And in my case, I have vocabulary in my phone, but if you have in your notebook, you can just open your notebook and read from your notebook something. And yeah, you need to attach those repetitions, small repetitions, to some actions that you do daily. And before or after that action, you need to get used to, for example, repeat vocabulary, or probably you can do whatever you want what's related to studying language in general. And then speak about today 15 minutes. It's one of the things that I was applying to English, to speak every day in front of the camera, and it really gave me a great boost. And I want to do the same with French, but I'm not gonna post it. First, because my level is not really good enough to talk about something for such a long time. And second, I just want to try how will it be. Like my task will be just to talk about something for 15 minutes. Most likely I will not have really topics, or I will have topics but superficially, because my level is not good enough to talk about something deeply. But in general, I would like to start talking just about my day, maybe about my mood, something like this, something simple, just to start expressing my thoughts daily, which will be really important for practicing uh, my speaking in French. Then one day input, another day output. It's the idea that I probably liked the most of this list, because one day I literally can spend to reading and listening, and another day I can spend to speaking and writing. First day input, second day output. And it's really a great idea because I noticed that I lack of reading. At the same time, I consuming way more through watching videos, and at the same time, I might try to speak, but I don't write anything. So I need an equilibrium and to do everything. So I will be splitting it by days, and hopefully it will work somehow. And do something than nothing, it's basically the rule that I was always a plan, but I put it down just to make sure I'm not gonna forget about this, because sometimes it's better to do something than nothing. And today, when I use it, I'm going to study French for 2 hours. I didn't really even want to start, but after beginning, it's only I began begin, began studying. I don't remember what is the right form in the past. Begin, begin. As only I started studying French, yeah, I was studying for 2 hours, and when I finished, I didn't really want to close my laptop. I wanted to keep studying because I still had a couple of words, a couple of ideas that I wanted to implement, that I wanted to try, some new words that I wanted to study. So basically, I can study even more than 2 hours easily. But I just need to start, because as a result, today I started studying at 3 p.m. because I took a nap, I had breakfast, all the stuff after the gym, which took lots of time, and I started studying pretty late. That's why I didn't really have enough amount of time to be able to dedicate even more to studying. And it's one of the things that, by the way, I wanted to mention. I finished about study language, so those rules: read out loud, learn words in chunks, shadowing, rituals, speak about a day 15 minutes, one day output, one day input, and do something then nothing. 7 rules. And then I realized I don't need strictly schedule my day as I do this nowadays, because how it works, when I have 7 hours of studying, I just finish one subject, I instantly close it and I start another one, because I look at the time and I realize I don't have that much time. I cannot afford myself to read for 15 minutes more the materials that I was working with. I need to finish and to start another one. So I want to have more flexibility, and I basically realized I don't have this insatiable desire to open Instagram or to get this cheap dopamine somehow. So I don't really need to have those strict boundaries that I don't have even time to pick up my phone, because it's fine. I need, for example, to schedule not 6 hours of studying but 4 hours of studying, and at the same time I will have additional time. For example, when I'm studying French for 1 hour, I have in addition 20 minutes to work some more, to repeat all the information, and so on. So I don't really need quantity of hours, I need quality of hours. Yeah, and I guess that's all I wanted to mention. Yeah, I wanted to start studying more efficiently, and I still haven't started my university subjects, which I should do, because otherwise it might be really late, and I don't know, we'll see. But honestly, I don't even want to start studying them, because I really like studying like French and look for some information, to watch some illuminating videos, analyze them, write some ideas down, and then work with them, implement them in my daily routine. And by the way, I realized I don't have necessity to record these videos every day, because it's my routine. It's already my routine. I don't need anything. I think in this way. Indeed, probably I need. I'm not sure about that, but I feel that I don't really need it. And anyway, I'm going to keep recording this at least 240 days, because in the beginning I said 240. It means I will do this. But by and large, I don't need it necessarily. I feel that everything is fine. I have so much notebooks, so much diaries, that my accountability at pretty high level. All right, that's all for today. Such a long video, but who cares? And see you next time.